Derek did like the sexiest thing the other night. So his parents were out of town, and we're going to go ahead and leave for Vernex from Embo. I was going to go get some coffee because I was talking about how the fact that I wanted some. Also, again, light not that fantastic, but it'll work for now, I suppose. Yeah, you can actually see my light back there. Wait, if that's darker back there, will it look better back here? We'll see that. Oh, damn, that light is way better. Actually, it's kind of too bright now on myself. Oh, shit, because it's the monitors that are giving me all this blue light now. Yeah, but I had the light back there, and then there's actually, I'm trying to get it. Look, right there. That's a kitchen cabinet, right here. Yeah, right there. Okay. Yep, so we're gonna go ahead and leave Elmvale for Vernex. The winter snows had stopped and the spring was just around the corner. It was time to leave Elmvale and find the mountain pass that would lead to Vernex, where the consortium of planeswalkers made its home. Carla sits on her horse, waiting for everyone to get ready. Amos is also mounted, and as are Petra and Theo. You aren't too surprised to see Carla's parents arrive just before you leave. They have no idea who you really are or what the full story is, but they hug their little girl goodbye and wish her well. Carla blushes in embarrassment until the goodbyes are complete and her parents have returned to the store. You're ready to go. You hurry back to the stores, eager to do some last-minute shopping before you... Oh, fuck off. We're leaving. You have everything you think you need and join your friends. Lucky, your horse, watches over the other animals calmly, eager to get some exercise after a long winter of inactivity. Inactivity completely? Really? I didn't, walk him one day? A few weeks later finds you still traveling. Carla has shown herself to be a good guide, finding comfortable places to stop at night and never erring in direction. There were a few other early spring travelers on the road, but none of them the size of the large caravan you find yourself overtaking. The rear guards eye you warily as you draw near, but due to the large number, they seem content to let you approach. Ask, "Hail, travelers, where are you bound?" Encourage Amos to do the talking so you can relieve them of some of their valuables. Say nothing and hurry past them. Sure, we might be able to increase our, charm. What is our charm at? It's fucking... Now it's at 32. It's bullshit. Should have gotten the ring before I left. Vernex, the guard says. Haven't you heard? The four dukes are going there for some sort of special vote. Our employer, Duke Udo, is already there, and it looks like he'll be staying there a while. So he sent for more of his belongings and his house stuff. Ask, what's this big vote? Will High Chancellor Zuzak be there? Ask, what's the big vote? Don't know. Whatever it is, we'll hear about its result before we even reach the mountains. We're going faster than they are, Amos says, but on our current course, we won't get there until after the vote as well. There's another path, Carla says. It's riskier, but if you want to get there in time to see the vote take place, it's the only way. Okay, let's go, you say, realizing that this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Your party picks up speed and leaves the slow-moving caravan far behind. A few days later finds you leaving the main road and going down a smaller path toward the mountains in the distance. A few days after that finds you going even slower as the path becomes filled with rocks and weeds. This isn't faster, Theo grumbles as the group is forced to walk their horses over another particularly rough patch. We'd have been better to have stayed on the main road. Say, I hope you know where you're going, Carla. Ask, are you sure this is the right path, Carla? Don't worry, Theo. Carla knows the way. Say what you know about the route. We'll say, don't worry, Theo. Carla knows the way. Probably gonna piss him off. Yeah, I fucking pissed him off. But, oh, look, she's so happy with me. Look at Carla, 95. Alright. She'd better, Theo complains as he steps carefully along the rocky path while leading his mount by reins. Maybe you don't know this, Theo, but you're not the leader anymore. Although Carla is also looking down at her feet, you can see a soft smile on her face at your words of support. The small path eventually leads to a narrow cave in the base of the mountains. The snow-covered peaks sit in the clouds above you. It's still very cold, as though the mountains are reluctant to let winter go and allow spring to begin. Your timing is perfect, since there is still some snow on the ground, but not enough to prevent you from traveling. Carla goes through her saddlebags and retrieves a lantern which she affixes to a long pole and attaches to her horse's saddle, giving enough light to lead the way. Bravely, she leads the group into the darkness. Jess concentrates for a moment, and when she is done, her eyes are glowing with a white light. From her confident steps, you assume she can see in the dark. Amos says nothing as he retrieves the lantern and follows the others. You barely step inside when you see a small shrine against the wall. It can't hurt to examine it. The shrine is small. It looks like a statue of a small, overweight man with a mischievous expression on his face and a tankard of ale in his hand. There's a tin plate between his legs with a few gold coins resting in it. You've heard of such good things from your studies with Harmon, your old tutor. It is likely a shrine devoted to the god of mischief. Put some gold on the plate, take the gold, fill the plate with gold until it's overflowing. Need 200 gold. Okay, ignore the shrine and continue onward. We'll put some gold on the plate. Oh, cool. Fuck it, we'll put 10 gold on the plate. Petra nods her head at your piety, even though she doesn't approve of your choice of god. What the fuck ever. It's just a little bit of mischief. It's fine. There are a lot of religious structures down here in the dark, Carla says as you leave the shrine behind. I don't like this, Theo complains. We should travel over the mountains, not through the earth like some kind of animal. Despite the mountain man's words, he follows Carla. It's a good thing the gods can see everywhere, Petra says, holding her holy symbol in one hand before following the others. The journey through the dark is much longer than everyone expects. It is difficult to tell time below the mountains. To Carla's credit, she leads the group confidently through the winding passes and knows when it's time to rest for the night. On the third day, structures can be seen in the tunnel. Sculptures and bricks line the path, which make everyone nervous. Just keep going, Carla says. We'll be out of here tomorrow. This is an evil place, and we don't want anything to do with it. Listen to Carla and continue forward. Recall the history of the place. Ask Petra about the meaning behind the sculptures. Study the corridors and see if anything look different. Study the sculptures for any religious significance. Fuck it, we're going to listen to Carla and keep going. You continue to travel with the others, leaving the sculptures and carvings behind in the darkness. The blinding light of the exit erupts suddenly as you come around a corner. The fresh air and sounds of animals raise everyone's spirits. Theo rushes ahead of the group to get out of the darkness of the mountain tunnel. Although everyone is squinting in the bright sunlight, they are also smiling as they look up into the blue sky, happy to be out from under the mountain. The path onward is much easier on this side of the Norgan Mountains. The signs of spring are even more pronounced as you walk. Many of the villages and towns across the land would be holding their spring festivals about now. It takes another week before you arrive in Vernex. You can see the fabled city sitting like a jewel on the lake in front of you. Like a jewel. Tall spires and grand towers sprout haphazardly from the city. A long queue of travelers line up to speak to the guards who control the harbor. Judging from their tired looks, it's clear they've been waiting a long time. With no other option, you get in line like all the others. Hours pass as you slowly shuffle along. You watch as the vast majority of those ahead of you are turned away. Eventually, you find yourself speaking to the guards. There are a dozen of them, and they are all wearing consortium rune bags and swords on their hips. State your business, the man says, looking at you with tired eyes. Say I have an unregistered demon stone to sell. My business is my own. Now step aside. I'm here for the vote. I have an unregistered demon stone to sell. You take out the demon stone with the unknown writing on it, watching as it glows a dim gray. The guard perks up at the sight of it. Been pilfering Somrith ruins, have you? He says. He reads the stone and writes the name onto a form. A few minutes pass as he fills in the administrative details. When he's done, he hands you the completed form. You have access to the compound, he says. Unfortunately, you can't go today. All normal business is on hold while the Dukes are here. Say, but if I had arrived a few weeks ago, I'd already be in there. Surely you can let me pass. Say, surely a little bit of gold could help you forget the time of our arrival. I'll leave the guard that tries to sneak past him. Say, you're a plane walker. Maybe we can make a deal. What, trade him one of my other stones? Yeah, it's not going to hurt to try to do that. No, sorry, rules are rules, the guard says. Need 55 charms. Where the fuck was I supposed to get 55 charm at? God damn, 32. It's bullshit. Why? Literally all of these are crap. Can't get any skill checks by anything like near 30. If it's at 30, I can make it. If it's over 30, go fuck yourself, unless it's endurance. And endurance probably can't even get any of the good shit from it anyway. The guard says, need 55 charm. Great. Surely a little gold can let you in time for free. If you're a planeswalker, make a good deal. Sure, we'll do that. The guard looks at you with a curious expression on his face. You know you can't give away the unregistered stone since it's your ticket for entrance, and you refuse to give the demon stone that Zuzak stole from your parents on the night they were murdered, but perhaps one of the others? Although they are registered to Zuzak, the guard would likely not tell anyone since he'd be accepting it as a bribe. Offer the soft blue, grayish brown, dull green, or don't offer to give any of them away. You can have the grayish brown one. The Planewalker guard has the stone in his hand. At first you think he's going to summon the demon on the spot, but instead he closes his eyes and concentrates while holding the demon stone. He then opens them and smiles. This demon has some power. I thought you were trying to pawn a dud on me. You got yourself a deal. Now move along before I change my mind. Lost the grayish-brown glowing demon stone. Okay, so I've got a blue one, a green one, one that isn't glowing, and I've got the one that I got from the Somrath. The crowd is only slightly thinner as you pass the guard station. You see that everyone is leading their horses into a series of large stables before boarding flat-bottomed boats to ferry them across the compound itself. The stable hands know their job well and take Lucky and your companion's mounts without question, handing you each a small metal token in return. You can see that this service is free of charge. Riding your horse for the past several weeks has been much better than walking. The ferry ride across the lake to the compound was beautiful. The brisk spring air came down from the mountains in the distance and swept across the water, flapping the flags which flew from the tops of many towers throughout the compound. This was Vernax, home to the consortium of planewalkers. As you arrive, another set of guards check your paperwork before letting you off the boat. Well, what now? Theo asks as he looks at the city with Jess standing next to him. Aren't you going to the amphitheater? One of the ferrymen asks as he helps Amos off the boat. The results of the vote are being announced to the city before criers are sent to the duchies. We missed the vote after all, Petra says after the man has left. If Zuzak is going to be making speeches, Amos says, this is our chance to search his personal rooms. You're too old, Theo says bluntly. You shouldn't go. We should send at least 2 people, so they can watch each other's backs. Who do you want to lead the suicidal expedition to Zuzak's private quarters? Jess, Theo, Petra. Fuck it, we'll send Theo. Good idea. Some muscle will be needed, Theo says, agreeing with the choice of leader. Theo relationship +5. Who should come with me? We'll send Jess with, and then Amos, Petra, Carla, and I can all go to the amphitheater. We'll send Jess. Oh, fuck off. I'm sending the 2 most powerful together, bitch. Sure. Send along the expendable soul burner, Jess says in a mocking tone. But yes, I'll go. Theo and Jess step out into the crowd of people and disappear into the milling mob. I hope they find something useful, Petra says. While they're doing that, what are we going to do? Say the votes are cast, so we're in no hurry. Let's get a room first. Let's go to the amphitheater. We have to keep our cover. Let's see who we should speak to about this unregistered demon stone. I don't give a fuck about the demon stone. It just got us in. It was easy to find the amphitheater. The large crowd of people could be heard from several blocks away. As you enter, you see some open seats about halfway up. You barely sit down when horns begin to blow. You see several carts with large wooden crates on the raised platform below. Guards begin to join the carts as the horns blow. The crowd murmurs in anticipation around you. The first to arrive is Duke Bandar. He looks impressive with his broad shoulders and dark beard in full braids. Next is Duke Udo, who is much shorter and has bulging eyes. His pock-marked face is rather unattractive, but his shrewd mind makes up for his poor looks. Duke Adan isn't far behind. The youngest of the dukes, his blond hair is perfectly arranged, and he is wearing the latest fashions. The 4th noble looks the most familiar to you. Red-haired and thin, Duchess Selina is attractive. in a stern and cold kind of way. The crowd applauds their appearance, but you aren't certain if they're applauding out of habit or because they really do respect these usurpers to your throne. The last to arrive is High Chancellor Alexander Zuzak, with the large dual-wielding axeman Thuja a step behind him. Zuzak's neatly trimmed black goatee and perfect smile cause the crowd to applaud even louder. Listen to Zuzak's speech. Cast a bolt of fire at Zuzak. Draw your bow and attempt to kill Zuzak. We're going to listen to Zuzak's speech. Today marks a great event in the history of the four duchies, he says. No longer will the common people be excluded from the wonders of demon summoning. After a unanimous vote, it has been decided that every citizen has the right to their own demon stone. With a flourish, he reaches into one of the crates and pulls out a handful of stones. The weak light of the stones can be seen even from where you sit. You estimate that there must be thousands of demon stones within the carts below. Every demon bound to each of these demon stones is of the lowest order. The common man will be able to control them in order to have someone to help till their fields, clean their houses, chop their firewood. You listen as Zuzak drones on about the benefits of demon summoning. Your parents had been against this idea, but the new royals happily allow it. You watch as the speech ends with the carts trundling toward the docks. Zuzak claims that he will send consortium representatives to instruct the people on how to safely summon them, but it still seems extremely dangerous. The platform empties as Zuzak and the other nobles leave the amphitheater. The noise of the crowd swells as they begin to shuffle for the exits and talk at once. That's it then, Amos says. We need to get to that banquet. We need to get into that banquet. What banquet? Maybe I should have said something? I should have tried to kill them. What banquet? Daydreaming, Amos says. Zuzak said they'll be having a banquet to celebrate the event. Get a room at the inn, register the unregistered demon stone, go to the banquet hall. Do you want to go to the banquet right away? Do you want to get a room first? I don't want to fucking care about the goddamn demon stone. It's probably powerful as fuck. Maybe give it to, what's-her-face. But I'm not going to summon him. Fuck that. Let's go to the banquet hall, actually. The banquet hall is filled with people milling about inside. It's obvious that many other uninvited guests are also trying to gain access to the event. Walk in boldly as though you were supposed to be there. Try to sneak into the banquet hall. Well, probably going to fuck this up. Although the guards are checking invitations, there are many other... Yeah, needed 60 stealth. What the fuck? Seriously? 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 Need to sneak past literally fucking everything. The guards draw their swords and reach into their rune bags as they surround you. Hey, you're not supposed to be here. Well, fucking cast a spell, damn it. You don't quite get through the incantation when one of the guards cracks you over the head with the pommel of the sword. Wow, that's fucking great. The guard leads you toward the dungeon. The design of the building is such that they are forced to take you alongside the banquet hall itself. You see Alexander Zuzak, the three dukes, and Duchess Selena all looking toward you and your companions as you are escorted past. Wow, great. Prince Ben, Zuzak exclaims incredulously as he gets to his feet. Wow, that's fucking fantastic. I just outed myself. Bring these people to me. The guards escort you to the head table. Shout loudly for all to hear. I am Prince Ben, the true heir to the throne of Darien. I denounce you as a traitor. Try to draw your sword and kill Zuzak. Try to knock an arrow and kill Zuzak. Say Alexander Zuzak, I'm here to join you. Try to cast a spell to kill Zuzak. Try to dive onto Zuzak. Wow. This is a real fucking shit show now, isn't it? I don't suppose I can bluff that, right? I'm here to join you? Shit. Alright, this was gonna happen either way, I'm guessing. Do I? Yeah, I do have a sword, actually, because I stole one. Or I took one off of one of the dead guys at the Somrath. I mean, I'm not going to do any of those for her, but I mean, we can either say I'm here to join you, or I can say that I'm going to fuck you up. Fuck it, let's see if I can trick him. Join me, he says as he walks over to you. I was certain that you would try to kill me, but why would I want you? You are nothing but an inconvenience. You sense something solid wrapping around both of your arms and squeezing you tightly. It feels like muscular arms, and you can hear heavy breathing down your neck. It's a demon, but this demon has a special property. It's entirely invisible. You struggle futilely in its grasp as Zuzak approaches. "Hold your weapons, or my demon will crush this impostor," he says, forcing Petra and Carla and Amos to stand by and do nothing. Wow, that's fucking fantastic. "So you're still alive," Zuzak whispers, lightly enough for only you to hear. "Did you bring me the demon stone you stole as well? You are a fool. Your kingdom is gone, and you have no support here." You realize that he's right. You look toward the nobles, hoping for some help. Fucking say nothing. Fuck off. "Duchess Selena, help me." Fuck off. I'm gonna say nothing. Your eyes scan over the people, but they all look back at you in confusion and uncertainty. You realize that it's too late for their help. You tried to defeat Zuzak on your own, but he is too firmly entrenched in the politics of the land. He has turned the people against you. You feel the demon squeeze you tighter and lift you off the ground. You are carried away against your will. So I'm in prison, but I do have the two most powerful people ready to get me out, even if she fucking hated it. You find yourself in a small cell. You still have all your equipment for now, but you know that it's only a matter of time before you are stripped bare. Petra, Carla, and Amos are here with you. The thick iron-banded door is locked tight. The hours slip by, making you wonder how Theo and Jess are doing. You hope that the entire trip isn't a complete loss. To your surprise, the door opens and you see Thuja. He's still wearing the thick leather belt covered in runes around his waist and holding his axes. Standing behind him are 3 consortium guards. "We can fucking take him." "You never should have come out of hiding," he says to you. "We have your friends, Theo and Jess. They failed, and Zuzak gave them to Selena. They're already on their way to her dungeon in Brightwater. Well, we're gonna fucking murder your bitch ass. Go kill Selena and get our friends back." He looks at your eyes with a cold expression. "Zuzak sent me to get the demon stone you stole from him. You will hand it over now, or I'll slowly break every bone in your body." You realize that he can't just take the demon stone, or the consortium rune bag you're holding it in will erase it and make it useless. Harmon's ice magic had torn Zuzak's rune bag all those years ago. Whether it was great skill or a fluke, it can't be repeated. Their only option is to force you to open the rune bag and give them the demon stones. The hulking brute takes a slow step forward, ready to begin his violent work upon you. Well, guess what? If I don't want you to have that demon stone, you're never going to get it. Suddenly, Amos has his short sword in hands. He's slipping around you like a man half his age. He drives his blade towards Thuja's throat, intending to kill him in a single blow. Unfortunately, the runic belt around Thuja's waist glows briefly, and he moves with an unnatural speed. Thuja's first axe comes around in a deadly arc, smashing into the side of Amos's head. Immediately after, the other axe comes upwards just as fast, burying itself deep in Amos's stomach and lifting him off the ground. The dead body of your foster father crashes to the floor at your feet. Not wanting to let his sacrifice being in vain, you use the distraction to your advantage. Step back and fire an arrow, punch Thuja in the face, plunge your dagger, create a blast of electricity from your fingertips with your magic. Let's fucking shock him to death. Yes, great. Unlimited power. Thuja is celebrating his victory over Amos, which allows you to finish your spell. He staggers back with a grimace of pain on his face as your spell ends. +3 to magic, and Thuja health is down by a quarter. The large man is unnaturally fast. He raises both axes into the air with the intention of ending your life with an enormous double chop. You can see 2 sharpened edges streaking down towards you. Attempt to dodge the blow. Attempt to catch Thuja's wrists. Endurance, agility, strength. My agility and strength are the goddamn same. I figured my agility would have been a little bit higher. Let's dodge the blow. You move fast as you can, but Thuja is faster. One of the axes cuts deeply into your shoulder, tearing a large chunk of flesh free as you step away. Your clothing is instantly soaked in blood. Needed 50 agility. Well, I didn't fucking have 50 agility, did I? Lost 50 health. Thuja steps back and commands the 3 guards to rush into the small cell. It's not a very strategic move, as they are forced to cram into tight quarters with you and your companions. Everyone is cramped and has difficulty using their weapons, but Thuja pushes them in anyway. Petra holds her shield before her and steps into a corner, saying a prayer to her god. Carla presses into a corner. Without room to draw her bow, she's practically useless. Swing your sword at the guards, stab with your dagger, step back and fire an arrow, grab a guard's throat, try to conjure a blast of force to erupt from your hands. Ah, the magic words tumble from your lips, but the press of bodies makes it difficult to bring your hands to the correct positions. You are jostled again, which interrupts the spell entirely. There isn't enough room to cast in such a confined space. The good thing is that the guards have just as much trouble trying to draw their own weapons or demon stones. You feel the sharp bite of one of their daggers as it digs into your stomach. You crumple in the cell floor. Darkness closes in on you. Wow, that's fucking great! Your eyes open slightly as you see Thuja standing with one of the remaining guards, the others dead on the ground. You are too weak to move. You see that Carla has been heavily injured in the fight too, but surprisingly she opens her eyes and sits up. Thuja and the guard are talking near the cell door and don't see Carla getting onto her feet. Carla silently picks up her bow. Her face has a determined look on it as she puts an arrow to the string. Her arrow flies true and embeds itself in Thuja's throat. A second arrow follows the first, striking nearly the exact same place, dropping the large man to the ground. The large axeman is dead. He had brought in the mercenaries that allowed your castle to be attacked and the kingdom to be torn apart. Selena may be the one who poisoned your parents at Zuzak's bidding, but it was Thuja's mercenaries who made it all possible. Perhaps your parents will rest a little easier in the graves now that the man is dead. The guard reacts quickly, bringing up a sword and running into Carla as she tries to knock a third arrow. To your horror, you see the sword plunge deeply into Carla's chest. The archer's eyes go blank as she falls to the ground. The guard falls also, the third arrow sticking from his chest. Unable to help yourself, you let your eyelids close once more. Motherfucker! You open your eyes again when you feel someone pulling on you. You see the Petra has regained consciousness and is dragging you out of the compound. You slowly struggle to your feet and stumble after her. Nobody stops you as you exit the building. Soon you find yourself on the dark streets of Vernex. It's almost too easy as you board a ferry to leave the compound. The guards ask no questions. They are only worried about people entering the city. You go to the stables and hand one of the sleepy-looking stable hands your tokens. They bring out Lucky and the other mounts. Without a word, you saddle up and ride away. Gained Lucky and lost mount token. You can hardly believe that Amos and Carla are dead. It will only be a matter of time before Alexander Zuzak finds out that Thuja has been defeated and sends men after you. He now knows that you're alive and will stop at nothing to kill you. Although you'd like to rescue Theo and Jess right away, you know that this is exactly what Selena and Zuzak would expect. Your only chance to save your friends is to wait for your enemies to let their guards down. You also need time to recover and regain your strength. You pull the hood over your cloak and you pull the hood of your cloak over your head to protect your anonymity and glance back at the island city of Vernex as you ponder the future. There are a few paths you could take. Consider traveling north to the Norgan Mountains. Consider traveling east to the Academy of Wizards. Consider traveling south to the city of Tornassus. Consider hiding in the wilderness. Well, I would have liked to have gotten the fucking belt. Also, somehow I've managed to change where I'm actually sitting. And that's tilted down, or tilted up a little bit too much. Alright, here we go. That was not the plan whatsoever. You could take the Academy textbook back to the Academy. As a wizard, you could fulfill every magic user's dream and actually enroll in the Academy. Gino, your master, would surely vouch for your abilities. Undoubtedly, you would find your familiar there as well. It would also be a good place to hide from Zuzak while you figure out what you want to do. Travel to the Academy of Wizards, consider other options. We're going to travel there. Your mind drifts to Theo and Jess imprisoned in Selena's dungeon. You vow to rescue them as soon as you can. The sun begins to rise in the west, illuminating the many carts carrying the newly made demon stones to villages and towns all over your former kingdom. What is Zuzak's grand plan? What will he gain from giving demon summoning to the people? What is so special about the demon stone he stole from your murdered parents all those years ago? With Petra at your side, you make your way toward the Academy of Wizards, curious as to what the future may hold. Things might look bleak now, but one thing is certain, the world has not seen the last of the lost heir. And that seems to be the end, so we've got our stats here. We're at 25% health. There was no way of getting around that bullshit. Hopefully Jess will end up forgiving me in the second one, and hopefully the rest of the shit doesn't go down the crapper as well. So that's the end. We're going to go ahead and click this and see what happens. And so concludes The Lost Heir, The Fall of Daria. The story continues with The Lost Heir 2, Forging a Kingdom, and The Lost Heir 3, The Demon War. Updates on The Lost Heir trilogy and other games can be found on the website. There's the link for that. Achievement gained, none. Find love and be sure they survive. Find at least 4 of the 8 artifacts in the game. I found 1 of them. Begin the journey into the north to avenge a friend's lost love. Begin the journey to the academy to learn about a friend's dangerous power. Okay, so it's like based off of who's doing what. Begin the journey to the nest to help a friend construct an artifact of power. Begin the journey into the wilderness to rescue a friend's mother. Begin the journey into the wilderness and slay a vampire to avenge a friend's lost parents. So Petra would have been the wilderness. A friend's mother, I'm not sure who that would have been. The Infinity Arrow, that would have been Carla, but Carla's dead. And then who was Lost Love? So she's not dead. Okay. But so we went ahead and lost Amos, and Carla died as well. She killed Thuja, and I didn't even get his belt. Yeah, that was a big rotten pile of shit. Yep, that sucks a big, fat, massive cock. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up over onto my other screen, and then I might pull it back in just a minute, but I have the other choice of games right here. And why don't we just go ahead and start up the second one. Alright, and then go ahead and close that. Bring OBS back up. And then we got the Lost Heir 2. Show stats. Yeah, welcome Lost Heir 2, Forging Kingdom. Strongly recommended that you play the first one. And then we're going to go ahead and play the second one. I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be. What the hell? Oh, it's person on a horse. It's just like, let's take a cartoon place. It's probably Vernax, and we'll stick some people on it. Alright. Begin playing the Lost Heir 2. Would you like to turn on notifications? I think I had left it on. Do you wish to play from a saved game or create a new character? Strongly recommended that you play the Lost Heir 1. Load a saved character. From choice of games. How do I do that? Turn a game over here. How do I save this one? I'm not sure how this is supposed to be done. Fuck. Next. Oh, okay. So is this what I do here? Sure. Let's go ahead and name my save game. Oops. How likely would I recommend this game to a friend? Oh, we'll stick it at 8. Now we'll go 7 because I fucking hated the ending. Should I go down to 6 for that? I don't know. The ending fucking sucked. Also, it's asking me to rate the first one, so I think I just saved it. Play again, blah 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 blah. Alright then. I think that's done. Let's see if we can... How do I do that? What? Here. Let me see here real quick. Going through this, it's a learning process. I have to open up my email. Here, let me fold this over here and do this. I mean, it's not like anybody on YouTube can't just find my email anyway, but we just won't have it right up on a video. Is that right? Yep. No saves. No saves downloaded. That's weird. Here, let me check this up over here real quick. Or you could load. How long does it take to open my goddamn home screen? I got an email from Netflix. What is this? What was it? Choiceofgames.com? It gave me an option to save my game on the other one. Is that one? Yeah, that's Lost Heir 2. Hosted games. What is it? Oh, Lost War 3 Demon War. Where's the first one? Some of these look kind of interesting, I suppose. The Lost Heir 2. Where's the Lost Heir? I forget what the picture of it is. Probably recognize it as soon as I see it, though. Sabers of Infinity. I think that was one that I planned on playing. They couldn't have made this a little bit easier. Oh, here I can control F. Here we go, the Lost Heir. Nope, not that one. Lost Heir 2. There we go. I'm not seeing how I'm supposed to be able to save this. Here, real quick. Let's open back up the first one real quick. Is it going to start me over again? I saved it. I don't know how I'm supposed to get it back. Maybe I have to start over. Create a new character. Strongly recommend that you play. I have played it, but I mean, high chance of sort of playing Walker kills your parents. Okay. Maybe it's just gonna have me like fill stuff in. Let me go ahead and close Chrome over here. All right. The Prince of Daria. Your name is. Choose my own. Ban. Blah, 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 blah. Amos, an old thief, saved me. Small town, reason you know, and you grew up and became a wizard. I don't think there was anything else. Became a wizard. I became a wizard. Oh, it doesn't give me that information yet. You show a particular adeptness with. I can only pick one? This is bullshit. Friend from the palace who was a girl. She was a highborn noble. Young age, not sexually attracted. You made a friend in Elville. A woman. We had another friend. A large muscle bound man. A soul burner, a woman. I followed Amos' wish, never used the demon stone. Got that. I grew up to be a saintly man? You didn't date any of your companions. Yeah, there wasn't an option for that, damn it. Yep, so you had to, one of them died. Carla died. And I escaped with Petra, and then the other two were automatically sent there. Theo and Jess were captured, blah, blah, blah. Selena let down the guard. Together you went to the Academy of Wizards. Yeah, what was it that Petra wanted? Are the achievements still the same? Oh, final legendary mount. I shouldn't be reading all of these. Yeah, we went to the wizards. And as you left Vernus's refuge, please give me a summary of the story so far. Continue the story without a summary. Yep. Next. Alright, show stats. Oh, fuck off. Okay, maybe instead of magic I should have gone endurance. Right? Petra was higher than that. I think Jess was about the same. Theo was probably a little bit about the same. Backpack containing a water skin, flint and steel, sleeping roll. Where's all my good shit? This is stupid. Young, timid riding horse named Breeze. Fuck that. This is gay as fuck. Yes. Let me load. How do I load? I want my other character back. Load a character. Oh, sweet! Yes, there it is. Cool. Hey, hey, hey. Hells yeah. Alright. Yeah, Petra was higher. Theo was lower. Jess was lower. I have all my items. I got my lucky. Alright, cool. Alright, return to the game. The enormous 8-foot tall iron golem drives its fist toward you. You barely dodge the blow in time. The metal knuckle dislodged the rest of the stone in the tower wall right where you were standing. The gaping hole is filled with the blue sky of a hint of green from the ground a mile below you. Petra stands beside you with a small stern look on her face. Her hand rests on the handle of her morning star as her eyes shine with holy conviction. The stone slab you both stand on suddenly begins to slide forward toward the lethal drop to the ground far below. Punch the golem in the face, fire an arrow past the golem, attack the golem with a sword, throw a dagger at the golem. Watch as Petra attacks the golem, cast a spell to throw fire from your fingertips. I don't know how much that's going to help a fucking iron golem, but sure. You say the magical words and watch the flames dance between your fingers. The fire washes over the metal monster, making him glow bright red from the intense heat. Unfortunately, besides the color change, the golem ignores the god of flame. But I still got magic +3. You have been here for several months now. The Grand Academy of Wizards was full of opportunities for everyone, not just for those who were magically inclined. As the central location for the study of magic, the enormous tower is suddenly by a full city, which supports and serves the mages within. You joined the Thieves Guild. You offered your services as a bodyguard to a wizard, helping to protect his belongings. You followed your religious convictions and became a priest. You enrolled in the Academy of Wizards. You offered work the Academy libraries as a sage. You mugged the untrained wizards for profit as a thug. I enrolled. Gino, the enchanter you met in Lud, had been a wonderful teacher and was a well-respected wizard. Using your former master as a reference, you were admitted into the academy on a full scholarship. There was no other place in the Four Duchies where magic was so accepted and studied. The classes are amazing, and you learned a lot from the master wizards who taught you. Gain level in wizard, +50 gold, +10 history, +20 magic, and +15 arcana. Fuck yeah! 100 magic! Cool. As part of your studies, you were taught how to bond an animal's soul to your own. Not every wizard takes advantage of such an opportunity, but some do. The ritual can only be done once, so many wizards wait for just the right familiar, although some wait their entire lives and die alone. You use the spell to bond a cat, I use the spell to bond a fire drake, secretly use the spell to bond a small spider. I didn't use the spell, sure. You decided not to use the spell at that time. You were going to your next class when the golem attacked. Judging from all the panicked young wizards who rush out of the classroom behind the golem, you suspect that the mighty construct was accidentally awakened by one of their miscast spells. An aged master wizard stands among the students, eyes wide, as the golem advances on you, and the stone slab continues to slide toward the large hole behind you. Attempt to circle around the golem and go back to safety of the hallway behind it. Attempt to push your way through the broken walls and into an adjacent room. Attempt to dispel the animation spell upon the golem. Allow yourself to fall through the hole, grab the ledge, and hang there. We're going to dispel it. The spell is complex, but you are up to the task. Bright white mote of color erupt from the hands and splash over the golem like foam from a shaken ale keg. The metal construct becomes immobile as your magic deactivates it. The master wizard nods at you in appreciation and as the students applaud your efforts. Heroics. Bleh. Sometimes you question the sanity of having so many students learning magic in one place. It seems like there are always magical accidents happening, and the death rate in the academy is frighteningly high. Oh, that's fucking fantastic, because I literally just lost 2 people. One of them was by default, and then I suppose it just depends on who the hell else you had in there. The Academy textbook you found among Jala's books was a great interest to the Academy, although they were eager to share the knowledge. They wanted control of the process, since freely distributing books were dangerous and took away their control of magic use across the land. As such, they paid good coin to get them back. Return the book to the Academy, read the book a second time, keep the book. We'll return the book to the Academy. The Academy Library is very happy to get the tome back. Did you read it? He asks and looks over the book. Lie and say, no, I didn't. Tell the truth and say, yes, I did. Okay, cool. It's a pretty big temptation, huh? He says with a twinkle in his eye. Thank you for your honesty, and thank you for returning the book. Charm +3, gold +75. Cool. My charm is going up. That evening, your thoughts turn back to the murder of your parents. It's like an old wound that refuses to heal. The deaths of Carla and Amos are much fresher, and just as painful. Although Thuja swung the axe, you know that Zuzak is the one responsible for their deaths. You haven't given up on finding out exactly why Alexander Zuzak killed your parents and what his plans are for the recently glowing demon stone he tried to steal. It's fucking obvious. It's very obvious. He literally wants demons to take over the earth. Because the demon stone that doesn't glow is obviously a demon that permanently took over Zuzak. Whoever the fuck Zuzak was to begin with. After a year of hiding, you feel that you are ready to take the final tests for graduation. Thanks to what you had learned before coming to the academy, you are much further advanced than other students your age. The exit tests go quite well, and you are given your robes showing that you are a graduate from the academy. The magical garments are bright blue and covered with yellow stars and moons. Gained academy graduate robes and magic +2. I already had magic 100. Yeah! It is time to rescue Theo and Jess. You hope that the time away has lowered Selena's guard and will allow you to break them out of the dungeon with less risk. Petra agrees, and you decide to set out in hopes of rescuing your companions. You pack up your belongings and head toward Brightwater, which is also in the Duchy of Dumaine. The beautiful city on the Silver Sea, where Selena now rules, is only a few days away from the academy. Your horse Lucky is happy to be moving again. After a few days of travel, you and Petra find yourselves approaching a small village named Dobton, in the heart of what used to be the Kingdom of Daria. It looks much like every other small town you have ever seen. Continuing our way, visit the shops along Main Street. We'll visit the shops. What do I have for gold anyway? 250 gold. Cool. Buy equipment. Lantern, hammer and spikes. Visit the stables. Need 500 gold for that. And then visiting the temple. Take a no thieving vow. Do not take a no thieving vow. Donate gold to the needy. Say a brief prayer to Oriel. Take a no thieving vow. You make a holy vow to the gods and goddess that you will not steal. The good deities of the world take note of your words. +10, good. You have 250 gold. Alright, I'm going to say a brief prayer to Oriel. You close your eyes and say some words to Oriel. You feel more at peace after you finish. +1 good and +1 religion. Buy a flask of holy water or donate gold to the needy. That will increase my good, right? I gotta make up for reading the book. I gotta repent that real quick. We're going to give them 30 gold again. Alright. Got +3 good. Alright, we're going to go back. Visit the temple, done shopping. Alright. As you walk through Dobton, you notice that the streets appear quite empty. Considering that it's harvest season in the middle of the day, this doesn't seem too strange. At first, you glance toward the fields on the edge of town and see something very alarming. Creatures ranging in height from 1 to 3 feet are shuffling around through the farmer's fields. You think they must be the farmer's children at first, until you notice their black leathery skin. The field is infested with demons. There are perhaps a dozen of them walking around the cornstalks. You notice that they are haphazardly collecting the cobs and corn and walking them individually to a wagon in the center of the field. You and Petra suddenly hear shouting coming from the inn. Draw your sword and rush the inn. Draw your dagger and rush the inn. Put an arrow on your string and rush the inn. Cast a shielding spell over yourself and then enter. Throw open the door and rush in. Motion for Petra to leave the way. Enter the bar calmly. Well, just enter the bar calmly. Actually, we'll cast a shielding spell over myself and then enter. A shimmering blue sparkle twinkles over your body as you step into the common room. You see a very angry fat man yelling at a disheveled thin man, jamming his pudgy finger into the other's chest as he speaks. Judging from the white apron, you guess that the man yelling is the bartender or the owner of the establishment. It's clear that they are having a disagreement, but based on the passive faces of everyone in the room, you determine that nobody is fearing for their lives. The two men continue their discussion, ignoring your presence. "I'm good for it," the thin man says. "Give me a second chance. Your bar tab was big enough before you chopped down my cellar door and emptied a barrel of mead, you lout." A bystander leaned towards you. Upon seeing your confused expression, explains the situation. "Sherman here," he says, indicating the thin man. "He's had a rough go lately. One of his farmhands summoned a demon too big for him this spring. It ate the farmhand on the spot, so Sherman didn't get his field fully planted and didn't make enough money to pay his bar tab. So he goes to Bill here, the owner of the Blue Crab, and offers to chop wood to clear the debt. But the demon Sherman conjured to cut the wood was too strong for him. Next thing you know, the demon has Sherman chopping down the cellar door and drinking up Bill's mead." "The demon drank first," Sherman argued, "but they can't get drunk, so it forced me to drink. I couldn't have drunk a full barrel all by myself. I'll chop the rest of the wood and a bit more to pay for some of the missing mead. Say, what's with all the demon summoning? Say, Sherman's right. If he didn't drink it, he shouldn't have to pay for it all of it. Say, Bill's right. It was Sherman's incompetent demon summoning that caused the creature to waste the mead. Yo, there are demons in the fields as we speak. Get your swords quickly. Say, what's all the demon summoning? You've been hiding under a log? Ever since the Duke agreed to legalize summoning and Consortium sent out free demon stones, everybody and their brother have been using demon labor." You realize another thing that had struck you as odd. The bar was filled with people, and it was only early afternoon. Normally these people would be working the fields and doing other daily tasks. The demons in the fields suddenly made even more sense now. +2 perception. I don't know how the fuck I was meant to have my perception like ridiculously fucking high. Where is it? Perception here, 35. I needed like 60 for some of that bullshit. Or maybe it was 40 to spot the guy. Whatever. Say, Sherman's right. If he didn't drink it, he shouldn't have to pay for all of it. Say, Bill's right. If Sherman's the demons of the spirit, I'm gonna fucking say nothing. I don't give a shit. You say nothing as Bill and Sherman continue to argue over who should pay for the mead that the demon drank. It's clear that they aren't going to come to an agreement on their own. I'm not gonna fucking take a side. I'm leaving. You leave the bickering men in the tavern behind. Nobody even notices the passing of two strangers. You leave the tiny town and continue on your way. Your parents had been against the demon summoning, but since the ban was lifted a year ago and the Consortium had supplied the populace with demon stones, it seems like the practice has really taken hold amongst common people. This inevitably forces you to wonder, why did Alexander Zuzek want this? What is he getting out of such misery? You realize that the small scene of the four duchies is happening across the entire land. Work not getting done, demons running wild, and commoners possessed into doing heinous acts. Zuzek's changes are destroying the realm. Something must be done before it is all lost. The city of Brightwater is marvelous as the stories say. An assortment of narrow towers and precariously high bridges rise above the coastal city. The sparkling blue water to the east fills the air with a clean, salty smell, and cawing of seabirds joins the background sounds of the city. Selina has chosen her duchy well. Not only is the eastern part of the former kingdom of Daria beautiful, the capital of the recently formed Dumaine Duchy has one of the most defensible keeps in the land. The small towers of the great Brightwater Keep are even higher than the rest of the city. Although you know your destination is far beneath the walls, the dark dungeons of the keep... in the dark dungeons of the keep, blah. This is where Theo and Jess are kept. Petra leads you to an inn called the Siren, where you rent a room to plan to break to plan the prison break. The two of you go up to the cramped room to discuss how you're going to free companions. Before we get to work, Petra says, I think we should say a prayer. All right, I guess next time we'll decide whether or not we're going to pray with her. We're going to go ahead and pray with her. But, yeah, that's where we're going to leave off for this one. Luckily, I actually was able to get the save. It wasn't that difficult. It just took a little bit of time for it to register. And then we were good. So, yep, we will go ahead and see you guys next time. Hopefully break out Jess and Theo.